porch.
Now, if you'd like to follow Ashley's story and read more of her journal entries online, we have a link on our website. Just go to KTRE or KLTV.com, click on the big red box, and you will find that link that will connect you to the Cancer Journal Project. We're learning more tonight about the Klein Animal Shelter in Jacksonville, where the executive director was arrested today. So let's go to Joe and Jennifer now for East Texas News at 5. Guys, officials are telling us they have a warrant out for animal torture. Is that right?
That is right, Taylor. Police tell us one employee, quote, went out of their way to hurt some of the animals at that shelter. Tonight, we'll hear from former employees as they share what they say went on when they worked there.
Plus, this week's plot against the U.S. Capitol is raising concerns about homegrown terrorism in the United States.
Live in high definition, caring, committed, proud of East Texas. You're watching East Texas News at 5.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. We are continuing to follow the story out of Jacksonville tonight that affects multiple communities in East Texas. This morning, the executive director of the Klein Animal Shelter in Jacksonville was placed under arrest.
And new tonight, police in Tyler tell us that the city will no longer transfer animals to Klein until further notice. Also, the Texas Department of State Health Services is revoking the shelter's quarantine certification based on their concerns for the animals. Angela Wallace is now facing charges for animal cruelty, illegal euthanasia, and assault of a former employee. East Texas News' Francesca Washington joins us now live in Jacksonville with more. And Fran, tell us what led up to police making this arrest today.
After 6 months of investigations and looking into complaints from the community and former employees, the Jacksonville police chief told me they had to move. Now today I spoke with 2 former employees and they told me they didn't even last a month at working at the shelter. One of them even told me they were tired of watching animals being put down for no reason.
Thank you, dear Lord, because these people are not that great. They don't have any business being in the being in animal rescue.
After years of community complaints about the Klein Animal Shelter, Director Angela Wallace was arrested earlier today.
We finally got to the point where we needed to move.
The Jacksonville Police Department says they started a deeper investigation 6 months ago when employees reported illegal activity.
He watched a girl kick a dog to death there. Who worked there, and the same girl took a cat by the neck with a catch pole and choked it out.
Former employee Karen Mundy says during the time she was there, the shelter was at full capacity.
They would just bring them in, check them in. They were put in the kennels. And I guess if you stayed X amount of time, or if Angela thought you were sick, or those other guys deemed you were sick, then you went down.
I saw there was a bunch of dogs that came in, nothing wrong with them, some of the best temperament dogs I've ever seen, and they were put down for absolutely no reason.
Justin Payne says Wallace was the only one licensed to perform euthanasia.
Angela had there was at least 2 people that I knew of that she had doing the euthanasias as well that were not certified at all to do them.
But they are just glad something is being done.
I'm just wondering what the heck took so long.
And they hope justice is served for the shelter's animals. Francesca Washington. Now, Chief of Police Reese Daniels says they have warrants out for 3 other employees, but they do anticipate more as they continue the investigation. In Jacksonville, Francesca Washington, East Texas News.
All right, thank you, Francesca. Representatives from Tyler will be going to the shelter in the coming days to oversee the city's animals and to make sure they are being cared for humanely.
The U.S. Supreme Court will decide whether same-sex couples nationwide have a constitutional right to marry. The justices will review a lower court ruling that upheld bans on same-sex marriages in 4 states, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Tennessee. The case will be argued in April and a decision is expected by late June. Belgian authorities arrested more than a dozen people today in connection with what they believe to be an imminent plot to kill police.
This operation was meant to dismantle a terrorist cell, not only the terrorist cell, but also the logistic network behind it.
Yesterday in an eastern Belgian city, 2 men were killed in a police raid on a suspected terrorist hideout. And in Paris, another dozen people were taken into custody linked to the gunman in last week's attack on a kosher supermarket. President Obama and British Prime Minister David Cameron met at the White House today to discuss the increasing threat of homegrown terrorists in Europe and here in the United States.
Well, look, we do face a very serious Islamist extremist terrorist threat in Europe, in America, across the world. I'm quite convinced we will come through it and we will overcome it, because in the end, the values that we hold to of freedom, of democracy, of having open and tolerant societies, these are the strongest values there can be.
Officials also arrested 2 men in Germany on terror charges. They are accused of providing financial logistical support to ISIS.
Pentagon officials say 400 U.S. troops will soon be deployed to the Middle East on a mission to train and equip rebel forces. Those forces are fighting against extremist groups, including ISIS and others linked to al-Qaeda. Coalition partners are expected to contribute to the training effort. The mission was organized by the White House more than a year ago. The training is set to begin in early spring. The state of Oklahoma completed its first execution after what was widely seen as a botched lethal injection process back in April. Charles Frederick Warner was pronounced dead at 7:28 last night. He was convicted of raping and killing his then girlfriend's 11-month-old daughter in 1997. Warner was put to death after the U.S. Supreme Court denied his appeal. Associated Press reporter Sean Murphy was among the people to witness that execution, and he repeated what Warner had to say before the execution began.
Quote, "Before I give my final statement, I'll tell you they poked me 5 times. It hurt. It feels like acid."
Murphy says the 3-drug lethal injection was administered and his microphone was turned off. He heard Warner say, "My body is on fire." Oklahoma has 3 more executions planned in the next couple months.
Several people were hurt today after a car collided with a school bus in Houston. Officials say the drivers of both vehicles were hospitalized. Several students on board the bus were treated at the scene, but we're told only minor injuries were reported. Investigators are still trying to figure out what caused that crash. Test results showed 90% of all Texas high school seniors passed their standardized tests. Only 10% of the class of 2015 are not on track to graduate this year. Last fall, nearly 84% of incoming seniors had passed all 5 assessments. Students still not passing have another chance to fix it in May. Still ahead on East Texas News at 5, and East Texan you will soon be seeing on the big screen how this woman made it to Hollywood.
Plus, caught on camera, 3 rhinos escaped from a zoo, and you're not going to believe how.
Around here, we saw the sun today, but we also saw those high, thin clouds hanging around East Texas. I think fewer of them tomorrow. A little more sunshine, but still expecting a beautiful 3-day weekend coming up. Let's check our Grant Flannery neighborhood WeatherNet stop. We're at Big Sandy Independent School District, where it's sitting at 61 right now. Not much wind today either. We'll talk about that good-looking weekend in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Tonight on KLTV 7 News at 6, we're live from the scene after the director of an East Texas animal shelter is charged with animal cruelty and more. Details on what happened and how clients are reacting. Tonight on KLTV 7 News at 6. Not just reporting the weather.
The hard freeze warnings are in effect.
A little wintry mix across the area.
But helping you prepare for it.
Anything exposed to the elements should be completely covered or wrapped.
KLTV 7 News, your East Texas news leader. Storm Tracker Weather is sponsored by Dairy Queen. DQ. This is the stop sign of Texas.
Well, for those of you that enjoy taking sunrise or sunset pictures, we have got ourselves an evening for you. So make sure those cameras are charged up, your phones are charged up. Take those pictures and send them to us. Let us see them, because this is going to be a beautiful night for those pictures. Let's just look outside right now. You can see those high, thin clouds are really going to give a lot of color to the sunset tonight. So just send them on. Hey, we'll show them on TV. If they're good enough, we'll do that. No problem about it. So just get out there and do the best you can. Temperatures are comfortable. It's been a very, very nice day across East Texas. Yes, started off a little frosty this morning. but it didn't take long for the temperatures to get just a little more comfortable. As you can see, Storm Tracker Live Doppler radar, they're out there, they're spinning, they're looking, not finding anything, and notice they're just going very slowly, again, in the clear air mode, just nothing to find. But that may change late next week. Temperatures across East Texas right now, we still have a few in the lower 60s. In Terrell, it's at 62 right now, 60 in Palestine, 61 Crockett, and also in Lufkin, but most are in the mid to upper 50s right now. And for this time of year, that's right where we should be. It's kind of nice to see that, isn't it? 60 right now, Chris Bell in Grand Saline. We got a 57 in Longview, 59 in Southern Rusk County, also in Huntington and Jacksonville, and 57 at Holly Lake Ranch. So it's pretty nice. Tonight, though, dropping down only into the upper 30s. We were upper 20s, lower 30s this morning. But a mostly clear sky is expected, not as cold, still cool though. And tomorrow we climb up to about 63, maybe 64, 65 over deep East Texas, but a mostly sunny sky and very, very pleasant. Notice those winds more out of the south and southwest at about 5 to 12, and that is a warm breeze. And you'll notice the reason for that is a high to our east, a trough to the west. Circulation around those two will continue to bring in that west and southwesterly breeze. Little front, though, as we've been talking about for the past couple of days, will move through just almost unannounced. You won't even notice that it makes its way through. Maybe a little shift in the winds, but that should be about it late tomorrow evening. And then high pressure will once again settle over the area, over the state of Texas, really, through the early part of the day on Sunday, move off toward the east again. And then we've got the west and southwesterly winds expected late Sunday and into Monday, and that's going to keep temperatures fairly comfortable around here. And this front here is expected sometime on Tuesday. So 45 at 10, 38 in the morning, and these should be mostly fair skies. 57 the temperature at noontime tomorrow. And then we're looking for things to stay really nice. I mean, the front moves through, almost no change in temperatures at all. And for Martin Luther King Day, looking very nice, 40 and 64 the temperature extremes. And as we kind of head beyond that, we see that things cool off a little bit behind that front. And then it gets a little cooler, a little more raw as we head into Thursday and Friday as the clouds move in and we continue to kind of monitor everything with regards to that rainfall. But again, for Martin Luther King Day on Monday, it looks like the day should be spectacular, high of 64. And again, we are looking for those mostly sunny skies. So we hope you have the opportunity to get out there and enjoy some of the day, because I think it's going to be a good one. Not only the day, but the entire weekend. Joe and Jennifer look like they should be days where, in the past 2 weekends have been raw and they've been cloudy and kind of wet. This one's going to be nice.
I'm excited. Been looking forward to it.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Hundreds of book lovers and best-selling authors wearing tiaras and pink boas are attending the annual Pulpwood Queen's Girlfriends Weekend in Nacogdoches.
I like their style. The unconventional dress code portrays the fun found at Pulpwood Queen book club meetings. Actually, there are more than 400 chapters and thousands of members around the world. And as East Texas News' Donna McCullum tells us, the founder of Pulpwood Queens has now caught the attention of Hollywood.
Kathy Murphy! There isn't a publisher in New York City who doesn't know the name Kathy Murphy. The former hairdresser with flair has a connection with book club members.
My book, The Pulpwood Queen's Tiara Wearing Book Sharing Guide to Life, this is about you.
The book made Murphy a star. Soon, a Hollywood star will portray this fun-loving East Texan in a movie.
Oh my gosh, it could not be anything but good.
That's what a screenwriter and executive producer who cut a film deal with DreamWorks Entertainment are wanting.
We are here to absolutely capture the details and the spirit behind the Pulpwood Queens, which is absolutely blowing me away.
Murphy is blown away too.
It pretty much buckled me to my knees.
The first person Murphy called was author Jamie Ford. The New York Times bestseller knows a good story.
It's very empowering. It's a story of sisterhood. It's a story of sharing. And I think it's a story you kind of want to hug.
Murphy was determined to develop a book club that spelled fun.
This is not going to be your mother's book club.
fun dress doesn't get in the way of serious discussion with noted authors. Her suggested books can become bestsellers. The secret is to stay connected with the readers.
You guys, I listen to you.
It's really not just about a book group, but really about the stories that are shared not only in the books that they read, but the stories of their own personal lives that they share with one another.
If that happens, Murphy will be pleased.
You do the thing you believe in, good things will come, and that's what happened. Our dreams came true.
Donna McCollum, KTRE, East Texas News 9.
The Pulpwood Queens are holding a block party tonight at 6 o'clock in Nacogdoches. Downtown stores are open and decorated for the guests. Panel discussions with authors continue tomorrow.
Well, here's something we just had to show you today. Take a look at this. 3 rhinos from Israel's Safari Zoo escaped through a side gate after officials say one of the security guards kind of fell asleep. They didn't make it too far. The 3 were quickly spotted as they arrived at the parking lot. Witnesses called the police, who then alerted the zoo. The zoo manager rushed to the site and drove them back by clapping his hands. Who knew? That's all it takes. Bad news for the guard, though, who fell asleep. He was fired. Yeah. In the Kitchen is coming up next.
And tonight we're going to have a special guest here to show you how to make some Valentine's candy hearts. Stay with us.
Howdy, howdy. We're in the kitchen with Don Trammell, who's the owner of the Luscious Crumb Bake Shop in Mineola. You might remember Don was on the Food Network, the cupcake thing, right?
Yes,
yeah,
Cupcake
that's
Wars.
right. Cupcake Wars. She's tonight's going to show us how to make some Valentine candy cane hearts, right?
Yes.
All right, show us how.
Well, you know, after Christmas, everybody always has all these candy canes left. They don't know what to do with any
They're in
of
the
them.
pockets of my pants.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Until about March, and then they start to disappear.
Yeah.
But this is a really cool project that you can do with the kids, actually, because it's a lot of fun for them too. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take some basic candy canes and turn them into these little heart candy cane candies.
Okay.
So what we're going to do starting out is we've got 2 basic candy canes here. These are small ones. We're going to put a little bit of white chocolate right here on our wax paper.
Okay.
You want to make sure you have that because they'll stick to everything. And we're going to set these side by side with the centers touching like that.
Okay.
And then I'm putting mine on sticks. You don't necessarily have to do that, but this is just a sucker stick like you would get at your craft store.
Okay.
In any cake decorating section. And we're going to pop that on there.
It just kind of glues it together.
Yes, and
All
that's
right.
going to hold it to your wax paper so they don't like fly all over the place.
Okay, good.
And we're going to take our white chocolate, which I have in a pastry bag, but you can actually put it in a Ziploc bag and it works just as well.
Use almond bark or what?
This is the vanilla almond bark.
Okay.
And we also can use chocolate. You can use chocolate chips or whatever.
All right.
And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill this in on the inside. Make sure we cover the stick.
This is so creative. I mean, you know, because you do have leftover candy canes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the kids love this because what's better than white chocolate and candy canes, right? That peppermint is awesome.
I like sugar so much, I put it in my sugar.
Awesome. And then we've got all kinds of toppings, and so what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to just sprinkle some different things on here, and it's going to stick to that white chocolate.
Okay.
And then when it hardens, you'll be able to pull this right off of here, and you'll have a really cool little candy cane.
That is awesome. You got the little candy pearls, which I had one earlier, so if you want to put a pearl on there.
Yeah. Do you want to decorate this one? I'll fill this in.
I could try. I like these pearls.
Ooh, this chocolate's a little hot.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really hot.
Well, it's because you put it in the microwave right before we came on.
I know.
Okay, this is really, really neat. And you see what it looks like here. I've been kind of hiding behind it in the witness protection program. But this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like with brown chocolate or whatever you call it, milk chocolate or chocolate.
And you can use the big candy canes like that. You can use whatever size works.
Mark, get out of here. If you'd like to figure out how to do this, see this recipe with all the ingredients at KLTV.com or KTRE.com, just do that. Go to the website and click on In the Kitchen. There it is right there. It's under the Only on KLTV section, and it will be there on the home page. Real easy to find until 7 o'clock tonight. You can also send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address you see right there on your screen. Dawn, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Pet Project is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
From the big breaking news to the personal stories and exclusive interviews, not just reporting the news, but keeping you connected to your community. KLTV 7 News, committed to being your East Texas news leader. In the Kitchen is sponsored by Diamond Jack's Casino and Hotel. Always the best deal.
Freckles.
the dog.
Yeah,
we're back with Gail Helms with Pets for People. This is Freckles.
And Freckles.
Yes.
What is Freckles,
Miss Freckles.
other than cute?
Yeah.
Well, we think that she probably maybe Pyrenees Border Collie, so she's going to be a large breed dog when
Really?
she's grown.
How large?
Probably 60 pounds.
It's a big
She
dog.
right now is 3 months old. She is.
Okay, you've had a lot of dogs bite on your wrist over the years. You just pulled back really fast there. She got sharp little teeth. Those
Yeah,
puppy
she
teeth.
does.
Yeah, okay. Draw blood, Freckles.
But she is just really cute. She, will get along with everybody, probably cats and dogs and people, and, just a sweet little puppy, and she needs a home. So, only thing I'll have to contend with is this hair, but giving her a Furminator, no sweat
Does she
whatsoever.
like to ride in the car?
Yeah, she does.
She does?
It's
Walk on a
really no
leash?
big deal.
She's gonna pull somebody on a leash one
Yeah,
day.
she eventually will.
That's
We
a
didn't
good
try
looking
the
dog.
leash.
You better
Yeah,
have
she really
security
is.
on hand tomorrow because you're going to get a crowd one this
And we
week.
have lots of puppies, a full kennel of puppies. So
Okay.
if this won't work, we got some more
There's
for you.
another one.
All right, and this will be there tomorrow morning. Freckles, ask for her by name. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at Pets for People, the old Kilgore Highway.
Yeah.
Good.
You like how I did that?
I like
Check
that.
her out.
That's right.
Yeah.
18 years of practice. Thanks for watching. Stay right here for the news at 6.
And you can find the very latest news, weather, and sports always 24/7 on our websites at KLTV and KTRE.com. Have a good night.
Good night.
Let the news follow you. From exclusive web content to text and email alerts, get your news wherever you are. Sponsored by Grant and Flannery, hardworking attorneys for hardworking Texans. You're watching KLTV 7.
On this Friday night, preparing for active shooters, what New York City's police chief now wants amid the worldwide terror crackdown. Also tonight, inside that bus, the new images and that moment in an American quarry. The terrorist thinking he's meeting Al-Qaeda. Tonight, what we've learned about yet another case. Brazen and dangerous, the armed couple on the run tonight, crossing state lines. Authorities say the girl is only 13. Breaking news from the Supreme Court, what they've now signaled on gay marriage. The hospital imposter wearing his lab coat, his stethoscope for weeks. Authorities now say he was no doctor. And my interview with Julianne Moore, her roles, her life, and the silent struggle in so many homes. Who she's standing up for tonight.
From ABC News World Headquarters, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us on this Friday night. And we begin with new developments from New York to London and around the globe. Cities on high alert heading into this weekend, terror sweeps in major European cities.